What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking a little bit more about the upcoming event schedule. There's quite a lot of events coming out. Of course, it's nothing unexpected per se, but I just want to make sure you guys know exactly what's going on, because there is some key information that you may miss just by like scrolling through here. You see these banners and you just think, it's pretty typical information. There is a little bit of info that we can talk about that you guys may have missed. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's just talk about the Sugo-Fest first. It goes without saying, you should probably conserve your rainbow gems for the November Sugo-Fest. Usually in November they have a half anniversary event. Obviously they had the anniversary in May. 6 months later they have a half anniversary. They typically will do this. So it's usually an anniversary Sugo-Fest, not a super Sugo-Fest, which means that it'll include characters like anniversary exclusives. I think Cross Guild will be a part of it. Characters from last year, the anniversary Shanks and Luffy from the Film Red Sugo-Fest. Potentially Legend Kobe as well. Blackbeard a little bit earlier on in the year. That Blackbeard character will be available as well. And it's going to introduce some new characters too. So that'll be like the next big banner to save for. But realistically, the next big banner to save for is going to be the Super Sugo-Fest at the end of the year. That will always, usually the New Year's Sugo-Fest are always the biggest celebrations of the year. Like, yeah, we know that anniversary is obviously a big deal, but like, to be honest, the New Year's banners usually bring the best characters. I mean, the Annie units are no sleepers, but the New Year's ones are usually always the ones that are the craziest. So that's what we're waiting for towards the end of the year. As for this Sugo-Fest though, starting September 27th, 1900 PST time, which as of the recording of this video is tonight, it was when this banner will go live until October 26th. So you can expect the next banner to drop in October 26th. In terms of the rare recruits, that was one thing that we kind of wanted to see what they were going to do with it. And it looks like Helmeppo and Tashigi are the rare recruits for this batch. So that's very, very intriguing, considering that we kind of thought that maybe Kobe was going to get some representation. One thing as well that's kind of interesting is that a lot of these characters in this batch also can include X-Drake in their actual build. This one does not have it, surprisingly enough. I think maybe, is it the support? The support might have it. I might be tripping. I remember that there's X-Drake somewhere. I think it's this one right here. Yeah. So the fact that X-Drake is a part of Sword, he is actually one of the characters you can support here. So I was kind of thinking maybe they were going to introduce an X-Drake character. They didn't end up doing that. Let's go ahead and talk about Helmeppo though, and discuss what he actually does, because we haven't talked about him yet. We've talked about the legends. Let's have a look at these rare recruits. So Helmeppo himself is a strength shooter fighter. His captain ability is actually kind of interesting. It gives all characters a 1.2 health, 4 times attack, boost their attack by 4.5 when you have full HP or when your HP is 10% or below. Makes strength slots matching. 1.2 times attack boost if this character becomes the captain in the middle of an adventure, so he gets a much better captain ability. And it also says that his normal attacks will be super effective against all types, and 15% damage reduction if he becomes the captain in the middle of the quest. Rainbow damage is a very rare occurrence in Treasure Cruise. It's a very powerful mechanic, much more powerful than like Dokkan, for example. But it's weird to have it on a rare recruit such as this, right? Let's have a look at the special ability. So this character special removes 6 turns of paralysis, boosts the chain multiplier by 1.4 for 2 turns, adds 80 times his attack and non-type damage on top of tap timing bonus damage for 2 turns. Remember that if you have GARP as your captain, I believe he says in his captain effect that if you activate tap timing bonus damage, that it instead will extend the duration of end of turn healing, which goes hand in hand with how GARP is designed. It then says that if you have end of turn healing with 5 or more turns remaining when you launch the special, it will further increase your color affinity by 0.3. And then if the end of turn healing is 7 or more turns remaining, it delays all enemies for 1 turn, ignoring all immunity to status effects. This effect is actually very good with GARP, because GARP does have the ability to give you a delayed conditional boost. The problem with GARP though is that his delay in his superclass special is not a guaranteed delay through immunity. It is just a generic delay. So this character, if you work it with the batch, it gives you the guaranteed delay for GARP's conditional boost. So I think he's okay. Not a bad rare recruit by any means, but it's just okay, right? It's just okay. In terms of the crewmate ability, strength slots will be beneficial. Top row get recovery and bottom row get strength at the start of the quest. It's a very, very weird crewmate ability. And then his support, his potential ability, should I say, he does have the provoked attack, which is good. He has barrier pierce when you're at 90% or higher or 20% or below HP. That is brutal, dude. I remember the good old days where it was just, if you're at high HP, if you're at 50% or more HP, you get it. This does make a bit of sense because GARP does have the capabilities of reducing your HP down to 5%, so that does make a little bit of sense, but at the end of the day, it's just a very weird barrier pen potential ability. Let's have a look at the support. It attaches to Kobe Tashigi, GARP, Drake, Grus, Kujaku, and Hibari. And the effect says, anytime you're inflicted with paralysis, remove 1 turn of that, and also get a 0.7 chain addition for 1 turn. Fantastic support effect. We'll definitely see play anytime you're using, like, the key characters here are mainly on GARP, Kobe, and Tashigi. Those are the ones that probably will see the most play. So anytime you have one of those units, this is a fantastic character to have in those positions. Let's go ahead and talk about the other rare recruit, which is Tashigi. Tashigi being a quick slasher free spirit. Her captain ability, nothing really too noteworthy to talk about. Her special ability will remove 6 turns of Rainbow Shield. It boosts the color affinity of your crew by 2.25 for 2 turns. It adds 80 times her attack in non-type bonus damage for 2 turns, so tap timing bonus damage, which again with GARP will extend the duration of end of turn healing. And then it says if you have end of turn healing with 5 or more turns, it will further increase your attack boost by 0.5. And then it says if your end of turn healing is 7 or more turns, it will heal 100% of your crew's maximum HP. So that's a really powerful effect. You don't really see too many characters that straight up just have a 100% heal. This effect is of course very good with GARP because when you use his special ability, you are reduced down to 5% of your HP. So using this special after that to get all of your HP back is actually very strong. Of course, when you think about this character in the batch itself, it is good, but if you think about using this character outside of the batch, what does this character really provide you? 6 turns of Rainbow Shield removal, color affinity boost, tap timing bonus damage, and then if you've got end of turn healing, you get additional effects, but in most teams, you're not going to be able to get that effect to activate. So I really do think that these characters in this batch, they're not going to see much play outside of their original release batch, unless of course the support is good, which we'll talk about her support very shortly. Quick slots matching, middle row slots into recovery, she does have the provoked attack, she does have critical strike, and her support, Kobe, Helmeppo, Smoker, GARP, Grus, Kujaku, Hibari. Once per quest, if the supporter character uses their special, reduces all enemies' Rainbow Shield by 1 turn, and boosts color affinity by 1.75 for 1 turn. Fantastic support effect. Definitely will see play. That's like an amazing support. So, if anything, the supports are really carrying this batch, these rare recruits, because I don't think they're going to see much play outside of their release, but man, those supports are very, very good. In terms of the Sugo, if you do plan on pulling, I don't really suggest it. I'm not even going to be doing any pulls myself on this banner. I'm going to be avoiding this one, as much as I would love to have GARP because it's a really cool character, but I just think it's a better idea just to wait. September 27th, then the 28th for part 2, 30th for part 3. And the structure is very similar to what we know. It's a very bare bones basic Sugo-Fest. Mostly just generic legends are available, which is another reason why these banners are just not that valuable, because on Super Sugos, yes, you want to get the new debut characters that are very strong, but getting duplicates for these Super Sugos are very good. Whereas these characters, yes, a lot of them are still relatively useful, but the problem is that you kind of need, like, you can kind of pull them just in every other banner, right? You can pull them every other banner. When you get a normal ticket in a normal event, you can pull these units as well. So it's just not valuable enough, in my opinion, to pull on a banner such as this. Moving on from that, we have the Pirate King Adventures, which is also starting tonight, which is going to introduce this brand new Kuzan character. I think this Kuzan is like just okay. Of course, he will super evolve in the treasure map in the middle of the month, so we'll see if there's going to be like a legend that debuts alongside that, potentially a new Kobe, which I think most people are kind of predicting. So for Kuzan, he's a Dex free spirit shooter. Captain ability gives himself 4 turns of cooldown, minus 1 turn for everyone else, 3 times attack, 1.25 times HP, and then you get bigger attack boost every time you kill something. So if you've killed something in the previous turn, you get a stack, and it stacks all the way up to 5 times after 5 turns. But of course, if you fail to kill something, then you lose all of your stacks. You go down to the 3 times bonus, and you have to build it up again over 5 turns. So not a great captain overall. The special ability is interesting. It is multi-stage, 14 turns. Reduces crew special charge time by 1 turn, 80 times attack in non-type damage to 1 enemy, which ignores defense as well, so that's kind of cool. It is only 1 target, so it's kind of whatever though. Reduces bind by 5 turns, adds 80 times his attack and non-type bonus damage for 3 turns, which of course works with GARP. It will also go ahead and heal 3 times character's recovery at the end of the turn for 9 turns, so this does provide end of turn healing effects. And then also set your chain multiplier to 3.25 for 3 turns. If your HP is 80% or above when you launch the special, it cuts your health by 20% and then reduces this character's special charge time by 4 turns. And of course, his stage 1 is a 4-turn cooldown, so immediately you can basically get double special with this guy. The secondary activation though is a bit of damage, remove 1 turn of bind, so it totals for 6. He also does the tap timing bonus damage, and then also extends the duration of end of turn healing by 1 turn. So with this character, you're kind of getting 10 turns of end of turn healing when you use the double special. If you're able to use it with GARP, for example, you can definitely get some nice things with this too, but I think outside of it, the only thing I can really see this character being useful for is he does have the ability to get rid of stun, but he only can reduce your crew's health if you're above 80%. So if you're inflicted with stun and you still have a lot of HP, you can use him to get around stun. And the only other thing he's kind of good for is the bind removal. That's just kind of it. So in my opinion, again, a very, very basic character, like in terms of a free-to-play unit. He does go ahead and give deck slots as matching. He does give -5 turns of special reverse to himself. He does give 60 base stats, and he is immune to stun, which is a good thing. So he's immune to stun. He does have the ability to get rid of it, which is good. Support effect, of course, is, let's have a look here. It's any of the Blackbeard Pirates, 9% character's attack on top of base attack, and then boost damage dealt to Monkey D GARP by 1.5. These types of supports are very rare. They don't come out very often. So if we ever get like a big GARP boss in the future, utilizing a Blackbeard with this support is going to make that character hit really, really hard. So that's the only thing that this guy's going to be useful for. He's really not that good overall. And then we got to talk about the drama here that a lot of people have kind of realized immediately with the Pirate King Adventures versus Kuzan, is that the boosted list for this Pirate King Adventures is absolutely abhorrent. It is so bad. So as we can kind of expect, the new batch is max boosted, so that's no surprise. These characters give you one additional drop. So you got 6+ Hawkins, which is garbage. You've got Beppo, who's fine, and then you've got Vivi, who not everyone is even going to have maxed anyway. And the thing is, you can only get the Vivi, well, you can get the Vivi, of course, when you can buy it from the shop and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, again, no one's really going to have this character completely maxed out. The character's not that good anyway, so this just doesn't make sense. 75% bonus drop is the unevolved Beppo, 75% chance you've got the new aces, or the aces from the last Pirate King Adventures. You've got 50% bonus from other PKA characters, as well as the Sai Luffy, 30% chance from all of these other units, but the glaring omission is the fact that, you know, the characters that have just been releasing in this last celebration, all these versus units, Luffy vs Kaido, Law vs Blackbeard, Kid vs Shanks, and all of those rare recruits, even the dual unit Rob Lucci and Kaku, and those TM units, those characters should be on this list at a bare minimum. And a lot of people are kind of upset about it because people have gone out of their way to pull for these units, and they're only good for their one event, and then boom, we have PKA next month or the month after, and boom, you don't even get boosts for it. You don't get additional drops. So that's a huge issue. And the thing is PKA is getting more and more difficult usually as time goes on, and the fact that we have these characters boosted, like, these characters are not going to be able to beat 150. Like, yes, you maybe could do it potentially with the right units, but this is just a very, very bad PKA boosted list, and this is not the only time that this has happened. This has happened over multiple months now. And again, it's not even PKA, it's also Treasure Map. Treasure Map just has been getting more and more difficult as time has gone on, and the boosted list has been getting smaller and smaller and less effective. Like, it wouldn't be as bad if the list was small, but they actually boosted units that helped you get around the content. A lot of the time, they'll boost a very small array of characters, and then the units that they do boost don't even help you get around the content. It's just, it's a very, very weird situation where they've made it so that you need to pull the new units in order to complete every mission. Of course, with the PKA missions, you need to use these boosted units to get additional turtle drops to get all those missions done, but you can't do that if you're trying to get deeper into the PKA with harder levels and using boosted units, and these boosted lists suck. So if you're not pulling for the new units, you're kind of stuck with these units, and these units are not very helpful. So yeah, overall, PKA is just terrible right now, and I really hope that they do something to fix the boosted list for not only PKA, but also Kizuna would be nice too. Kizuna doesn't need as much help, but TM definitely needs more help in terms of the characters that are boosting in this event. So overall, pretty disappointed about this. Surprise, surprise, we have a new Grand Party starting on October 5th. About the Grand Party stuff, there's not really too much to talk about. The fact is they're boosting Strength and Id, giving them defense. Psy characters with special CT increase is very, very annoying. Fighter and Slashers get HP up. Striker and Shooter get attack up, Powerhouse gets speed up, and then the only debuff this season is Quick characters defense down level 10. That's kind of surprising. I was expecting more debuffs, so the fact that Quick are the only characters that are receiving a debuff, it means that a lot of things are going to be open this season. So it will be interesting to see what they plan on doing and what they want to be the meta for this season. So we'll see, but overall, Pirate Rumble, nothing too much to talk about here. This one's also kind of strange. So September 27 to October 26, we have a Halloween login bonus where you get a free ticket every single day, and the ticket will include just Halloween characters. The thing is they have not really given us a new batch of Halloween units in such a long time that the value of these tickets have been going down and down and down every single month. So, like, the newest character here is Lauren Corazon. In terms of generic rare recruits, it's the Halloween Koala batch, which came out like 3 years ago or something like that. So, I don't really understand. Yeah, and some of these characters are restricted to only being pulled during certain events. But all these legends are just generic, aside from the Koala. She is a treasure map legend. And then you got like the rare recruits, you got some of these characters that are only available on Kazuna, some are only available on TM. And then you got the characters near the bottom, which are like special edition units, and all of them are bad. They're just collector units. So the fact that we're getting this every single day for 15 days, I really don't like this. I would prefer to just get a rainbow gem every single day. I would much prefer 15 rainbow gems over 15 tickets that are not going to get me anything worthwhile at all. I understand that for some people, these are going to be new units for you, but from my perspective, none of these characters are that useful anyway. So I don't know, take it as you will. I don't understand why they've decided to go down this route of having these tick-in login stuff, unless if the tickets are incredibly valuable, which in this case, they're just not. We have a new batch of level limit breaks coming to the game too, with some free-to-play units here. All of these units are free-to-play, aside from the Fujitora, who is a Rumble Rare Recruit. In terms of what the Rumble Rare Recruit is getting, because I know a lot of people like to see what he's doing, his Rumble ability gives driven characters speed 6, defense 6, attack 6, and for the first 30 seconds, he gets level 5 CT increase. That's a pretty good Rumble ability overall. The special ability gives 6 defense to driven, guard up level 6, and 2 high attack enemies for 2.7 damage 2 separate times. And if you use his special in the first 35 seconds, he targets enemies in a large range for 3 times damage. I mean, that's an okay buff. It's not the best, but he's still a pretty good unit if you're running like a quick driven focused team. Still a very, very good good character for those types of squads. And then all these characters, you know, it's always good to see free-to-play buffs across the board. I have read through most of them briefly. The Big Mom seems decent. Shiki's a really big upgrade to what he does previously. He's actually like a huge attack boost now for driven and does orb change and stuff like that. Koala's okay. Nami and Sanji are okay. And then you got some limit break expansions for these 3 units, which is nothing really too noteworthy. We also have the medal exchange. So the medal exchange is going to be introducing the new Vivi, of course. You can go ahead and pick her up from here. She costs 1,000 medals, which is a lot. I would advise most people out there to just avoid this. Vivi's not that great anyway, but you can get 1 copy of Vivi for free by completing the panel missions. You won't be able to complete the panel missions until November, which is a bit of a problem. So if you want to pick her up, you can do it for 1,000 medals, but in my opinion, it's a bit too expensive for most people. In terms of the other characters that are available, Sai Momonosuke, if you do not have Sai Momonosuke, I would advise picking him up for 600 medals if you have the medals to do it. He is a fantastic legend to have. 400 medals. Marco is okay if you need an EXP boosting captain, but you've got Momonosuke right there, who's also an EXP boosting captain and is just better, so Momo is definitely the better pick here. You've got some past treasure map units. These units have always been, these units just repeatedly come back, and they're not that good, so don't even worry about them. The special Halloween character of Khalifa, you've got Rebecca and Robin. They're just collector units, they're not that good. And then these are just the unlimited characters that are always available. So yeah, like, let's be real here, the medal exchange is kind of a meme anyway. The only real noteworthy one here definitely is the Momonosuke if you don't have him. If you've got him, you can just avoid the medal exchange altogether. And then for the Rayleigh's Bazaar, this is the one thing that I kind of overlooked and didn't realize that this was here until I read a little bit deeper. So for the Rayleigh's Bazaar this month, you can pick up the Vivi for 100,000 points, which is, you know, a lot still. But then I scroll down a little bit and you see this right here. Makino, proprietor of a relaxed tavern for 3,000 points. Now, the reason why that is good is because this is a very limited unit. Like, not a lot of people actually have this unit. So this is the character that you get from the Rayleigh's Bazaar. And the reason why this character is good is because of the support attaching to Shanks, Beckman, Lucky, Ruin, Yasop. And it says, whenever you're inflicted with Chain Lock or Blindness, it removes 3 turns of those debuffs. So that is a fantastic effect. This is very, very good for the Grand Voyage versus the Sea Monster. You know, they just gave us the Redhead Shanks dual unit for free from Kizuna. You put this support on that unit, it's going to help you get through it a lot easier. So yeah, definitely pick it up. If you don't have the Mark unit support, definitely go ahead and get it. But with all that being said, that's pretty much it. That's all the info that we have. The new event schedule is coming up, so hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.